Hello, and welcome to RuPaul's Drag Race Rejudged, and today I will be talking about All-Star 6, and specifically, what made it great. All-Star 6 is one of the best modern seasons we have gotten, so I'm very happy to get to talk about it. The first thing that made All-Star 6 a top-tier season is great, and I mean great, lip syncs. The first two episodes premiered at the same time, and while the Coco versus Yara lip sync was good, it was good, it paled in comparison to Brooke versus Raja. This lip sync was absolutely incredible. This was Raja's first ever time getting a challenge win, and she was not going to let that opportunity go to waste. As for Brooke, she had no business slaying as hard as she did. Great song, great lip sync. My only critique is how choppy the editing was. Brooke teleported across the stage multiple times. Apart from that, 10 out of 10. Episode 3 blew even that lip sync out of the water with Laganja and Trinity lip syncing to Physical. This is my personal favorite lip sync of all time. I've watched it the most, it isn't really a competition. Laganja left it all on that stage, it was absolutely breathtaking. As for Trinity, she did a very good job, I just wish she had done something original. What she did was incredibly similar to her Miss Continental talent routine. Those were some great lip syncs, but apart from that, there were a couple specific lip sync assassins who slayed. First is Coco lip syncing against Yara in the episode 1 talent show. Coco had not gotten to perform on the Drag Race stage for almost a decade, but wow did she make the most of it. This was great. Then we have Jessica. This is yet another queen who left everything she had out on that stage. Jessica saw this episode as an opportunity to make it onto All-Stars. She made the most out of that opportunity and earned her way right onto All-Stars 8. Then there was Alexis. Alexis is a great performer and a great witch, honestly. It is ridiculous how many of her opponents have lost their wigs. Lip syncing against Alexis is both a blessing because you get to be near Alexis, and a curse because you will lose whatever hair you have. And then we have what made these lip syncs great lip sync competitors. All-Stars 5 struggled by having people like Cracker and Jujubee not knowing the words up week after week after week. All-Stars 6 reversed that by having queens like Ginger, TKB, Raja, Kylie, absolutely knocking it out of the park. This strength also applies to Silky, who, while she did not lip-sync once as part of the actual competition, she had an entire episode dedicated to how great of a lip-syncer she was. The lip syncs this season were top tier. The worst ones weren't even that bad. Boom Clap, which is, let's be honest, worst lip sync of the season, wasn't bad because Raja or Cameron did a bad job. It was bad because Boom Clap is a terrible song. The second strength this season had was a balanced cast. While on All-Stars 5, 6 of 7 challenges were won by Juju, Cracker, or Shay, this season had a lot of win diversity. Looking at this chart of the win distribution, it took 7 episodes for someone to get multiple wins. There was a new winner every week for the first 6 weeks. Then we got a couple repeat wins, but overall, we got 7 different challenge winners in a cast of 13. That is a lot more win diversity, and it results in a very entertaining season because a lot of people are slaying. It isn't just a preset top 5 knocking it out of the park. It also resulted in a very close finale. Looking at the track records going into the finale, we have Raja with a score of 3.4, she had 2 wins and 2 bottoms. We had Eureka with a score of 3.33, 1 win and 1 elimination. We have Kylie at 2.9 with 1 win and 3 bottoms. And then we have Ginger at 2.8 with 2 wins and 3 bottoms. Even though there were definitely some people with stronger track records than others, it was still a fair competition. While Kylie's win was controversial, no one thinks she did badly on the season, they just didn't think she did as good as Raja. Even the weakest competitor, Ginger, slayed 2 challenges and really only deserved to be in the bottom once or twice. It was just overall a very close competition, and that made for really fun TV. That leads me into the third strength of this season. It was fun. This was genuinely entertaining TV to watch. It wasn't just, oh god, who's gonna fight this week, like certain seasons I could mention. This season kept me coming back because of how fun it was. Jan's story had some of the most insane trajectory we have ever seen. First 2 episodes, she is a massive fan favorite, everyone thinks she's robbed. Then she bombs the commercial challenge, and then wins the Rusical. Both of those make people hate her. Jan went in 2 episodes from being at the second peak of her popularity to being at the peak of her unpopularity, with everyone thinking she's delusional and crazy. That made for a really fun season as someone who loves Jan. The next fun part of this season was Silky's SmackDown. This was just an overall really feel-good episode, which I honestly did not expect. There were, if I counted correctly, 8 lip syncs this episode, and only 1 person got to come back, which means we got to see 7 people lose and leave the competition, but it didn't feel bad. The editing for this episode was just so upbeat and happy that even though we were watching people get re-eliminated over and over and over, all you could focus on was how fun Silky was and how good of a lip syncer she was. The season was also fun because it was a nail-biter till the end. It wasn't a season like All-Stars 5 where, let's be honest, we knew from week 1 Shea was winning. You didn't know who was taking it home into the finale. Most people thought it was going to be Raja, but it was never set in stone. Everyone was still within striking distance of each other, so it really wasn't until Kylie fell and recovered that we were like, okay, now we have our winner. Unlike All-Stars 5, which from the start, we knew it was Shea, this season, we didn't know until like 40 seconds before the crowning, Kylie was gonna take it home. The final thing that made this season great was the great runways. This factor is made even better by the fact that most runway categories ended up getting posted on YouTube. That is not something the show does a lot. Kylie Sonique Love is absolutely stunning. All of her runways were able to show off body, but not in a way that was like over the top or trashy. It was always classy, near nudity. Next is TKB from the ATL, slayed the runway every single week. Absolutely beautiful makeup, beautiful outfits. This was just an overall great runway package, and I'm really glad that Trinity got to improve in that department. Raja is yet another queen who absolutely slayed on the runway this season. I believe the rumor was that she only spent a couple $100s on the season. I think that is great. While she did have a pretty large repertoire of drag before this season, only needing to spend a couple $100s on Drag Race is a great sign. It shows that you can have a great runway package, but you don't have to spend all this money. I know a lot of people think there should be a money limit or a money allowance for queens. I disagree because you can learn to sew, and you can slay using that skill. Richer queens do get an advantage on the show, but I don't think it's an insurmountable advantage. Scarlet Envy is another queen who slayed the runway. She is an incredible seamstress, but the main thing I like about her drag is the perspective. Every look that Scarlet had didn't just look good, but there was always a story behind it, a theme behind it. She always just had so much personality and perspective in her outfits. That is something I really look for. In the end, All-Star 6 was a great season, but I don't think we're ever gonna see something like it again. It was lightning in a bottle at the perfect time. Season 13 had bombed at the same time that UK2 had slayed. People were looking for the next great season, and All-Star 6 delivered. With all of that said, based off All-Stars 8, I don't think we will ever see something like this again. With All-Star 6, production was able to make a season of queens who didn't really do well on their original seasons. They were able to take this cast of people who really didn't do too well and deliver one of the best seasons ever. Meanwhile, All-Stars 8 attempted to do that exact same thing. Most queens on the season did not do well, but it just didn't click. There was something about All-Stars 6 in terms of just energy or quality of something that was just unmatched that I don't think we will see from production for a long time. Hey, it's Drag Race Rejudged. Do you want gay shit? Well then check out the RuPaul's Drag Race Rejudged YouTube channel and hit subscribe.